Um, I've known John Zentner, and by the way, John is a district manager in the San Fernando Valley, for 25 years. John started with the Farmers Insurance Group in the Merced region as an underwriter. He finally got the word and became an agent in George Sauter's district in Merced, and became the top life agent in the company for 2 years in a row. And after 4.5 years as an agent, he took a job as district manager in Southern California. During his tenure as district manager in Southern California, John Zentner, with I believe 25 agents, has become the #1 commercial district in the company. He's also been the #1 fire producing agent or district in the company. To give you an idea of the job that the agents in John Zentner's district has done, in 1986, District 90, the district that I am the district manager of, has 65 full-time agents. We produced like 18,000 commercial sales count in 1986. It was a record year for us, and I'm very proud of my agents. We made 100% of quota, and thrilled. Thrilled until I looked at the company production list. I looked at who in the hell is #1 in this company as far as producing commercial count. And guess it was John Zentner's district, 25 agents, remember. They produced 55,000 sales count. That's a little over 2,000 sales count an agent. Now, I think you're all familiar with what sales count is and so forth and so on. So obviously John knows something that we don't know, or at least I don't know. And it was through the good graces of Don Snipes, and I understand my daughter had something to do with it too, Don. We persuaded John to come up here and tell you a little bit about his operation. He's got his commercial manager here, who's a full-time manager, he's not an agent, to tell you how it's done. What else is there to say except, ladies and gentlemen, John Zentner.
Just to get the record straight, Jack, that was 67,000 count for the full year last year.
Well, got some more, huh?
We had a good month. Our situation in Los Angeles has been very close to wonderful. Incomes, when they're way up, produce neat personalities. And one of the guys who is primarily responsible for all the great things that are happening with so many people in our district is a man who you're going to get to listen to today for 2 45-minute segments, Ross Driscoll. Ross joined me as an agent in the early 80s. He was still playing football, had a chance to play professional football, was an all-league center despite being 6 foot, maybe a little over, at New Mexico State, and was trying to latch on to a pro football team that wanted somebody a little shorter and a badass. And didn't happen. I lost him as an agent because of that. He wanted to go to every camp in the world to play football. Ross really affects people. He did come back to me through a circuitous route after serving an apprenticeship for an independent agency, and a well-known one in Southern California, as the commercial marketing manager. One of my agents then, after a little cajoling from me, took him in as the sales manager and promptly became the #1 agent in the United States. A year later, I asked him to help Don McNew, and he started Don's program off in our district, and this fellow had transferred from Las Vegas, a 50-year-old retired fireman. And Don finished the year #3 in the company with 3 months of help from Ross. Ross doesn't just act as my sales manager, he's the guy I cry to. It's fun to have somebody that I can bitch to, because I hear a lot of it. And when the production's a little bit down, I don't go home to Susie and talk about it there. I can go over to Ross's place. He's not only a hell of a sales manager, but he's a guy that will spend all night trying to help one person. He's the very best trainer that I know of in the United States, and they say that a head coach is no better than his staff. Well, I owe just about everything that's going on in our training program and a lot of our motivation to the man who's going to talk to you for two 45-minute segments. Let's welcome Ross.
John has talked. Okay, let's suspend the questions for a bit, and then we'll ask Ross to come back up and John to come back.
We'll answer them all even if we're here past
Okay.
midnight. I promise. I just talked to Jack. I'm going to be here quite often. My boy Jeff signed with San Jose State, so we're Spartans now. I have another boy who plays over there for somebody called the Cardinal. So you'll be seeing a lot of us, and I'll probably be doing meetings for you during football season, about once a week. Jack promised me it's all I can drink, you know, for a full football season. I've never passed a deal like that in my life. The other night, and I don't sleep the full 8 hours every night. I was up in the middle of the night trying to figure out why I wasn't in bed, and I turned on the satellite and I saw a half an hour of Herbalife. And I don't know if you folks know what Herbalife is, but it's a vitamin supplement. It's been in an awful lot of trouble in Southern California. A young guy with his hair down to here, a smart young marketing guy, I think his name's Mark Cooper, started this thing and is a multi-millionaire, if not a billionaire. Has a huge building in Southern California that 3 times a week I drive by and I see it says Herbalife, and I know that there's a 28-year-old guy sitting up there in a big executive deal who looks like somebody you'd find dancing down at the D Marquee on Saturday night, seeing what he could do. And I, instead of turning it off, wanted to see how they were reacting to their recent problems with the law. And they had the testimonials from these people coming in, and it was a revival meeting. People who we wouldn't want in our business because of maybe the way they look and act were going crazy, and I thought, how hokey, how do they get anybody that's worth a damn in that thing? Then they started bringing in people who had started 4, 5, 6, 7 years before, one of the guys 3 years, who are making $30, $40, $50, $60, and $70,000 a month. And I thought, holy mackerel, they have nothing to sell. It's all baloney. It's vitamins for triple the price. Yeah, I mean, if you don't eat all week long, you should take something, but how can they make that kind of money? And I saw how enthusiastic they were. They were mindless about it. They were talking about helping people, managing their business, doing right by people, organization, discipline, frustration tolerance, all the things we all talk about. And I thought, if we have what we have right now, and they have what they have, which is nothing, how come we don't have more people doing better here? And why aren't we getting all the very best people, not only out of their place, but out of our general populace? District 40 stands for a code that the company uses. Jack has a code. We all have these code numbers, just like high schools in New York. District 40 means our top people make $40,000 or more a month, $500,000. Now we have 4. We're going to 6. Every month we have somebody break $50,000 on a folio, and it changes hands. Also on the downside with this commercial thing that Ross has talked about, and I want you to see both sides, because of the huge number of applications, the deluge, from these marketing programs, from certain metropolitan areas, the company's having trouble just getting it all out to you right away. I mean, it's like a guy told me, would you rather have us kind of cut the market back so we can handle it all swiftly? Would you rather pile it up on us and take these commission checks in piles but not even stacks? Well, you know what our choice was. Just get it to us and we can take a joke. Farmers Insurance has always paid 100% of what we earn. And part of the frustration in this commercial program that Ross has laid on you, and some of you, and probably more than half of you, won't be able to reconcile it. Your personal philosophies will not allow you to wait 3 and 4 months. So you're going to say, hell with it, I'll write a fire policy and I'll go fishing. I might write a life app next year. So for half of you, we've already lost you. For the other half here, a quarter of you, that's a quarter of you, will get into this program, and then half of those people are really going to go for it. So now I'm talking to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 people in this room and I think you know who you are. And those of you at the other end know who you are because your whole life is based upon the inability to handle frustration of a business that's like a roller coaster. In our district, we have as many as 9 or 10 people who make over $26,000, $28,000 in a month. They usually run around together. And we have 5 who have tried programs in the past, failed miserably in their own eyes, and quit. Here's some of the reasons people quit, other than your own personality, the way you're structured. They quit because they can't recruit. I get a lot of people saying nice things about me because I have a whole bunch of studly agents. You take away those people, and Ross Driscoll's program is like a marketing harvester, a harvester on a cotton field. Buy one for $10,000, it picks a lot of cotton, and put it out there, and what happens to it? Nothing. Somebody has to work the controls. So a good district manager and sales manager in the region, the company, realize that you folks make that thing go, and if we pick people who are not big-time pilots, they can't fly our machine. We're not snobs in our district. We're the same people, and in fact, we're making more money, changes nothing. We no longer want to work with the second-best individual. Have you ever heard of Weed Patch Poly, the college in the Weed Patch, California? It's a new university there, and it's just started football. Weed Patch Poly. I'm making this up. There is no university there. But if there was a Weed Patch Poly, and it started its program, would they be able to recruit the same people that they can at SC and Notre Dame and UCLA? No. Well, most of our agencies in the Farmers Insurance Group, and when I say most of them, let's say the majority, over 50%, have small, tight little universities that don't want to field a football team, and if they do, they don't want to really feed the players any training table. Ice water every morning before you go on the field. It costs too much money for beef. And the hardest thing for me to deliver to you right now is a message that some of you better become risk takers, or what we're doing today means nothing to you. Forget it. Just throw all this stuff. Just leave the paper here. Because you won't do it because you can't do it all yourself. Any success that I've experienced as a coach, in sports, and as an agent, and then now as a district manager, is because I surround myself with great people. Velcro. If you're a good one, we can't lose you. It kills us to lose you. We don't make excuses and say, well, he wouldn't, she wouldn't have made it anyway. Ross and I go over to my house and we want to cry. We drink and we cry when we think we're going to lose a good one, because that's our livelihood. Velcro means a top person sticks to you. Now, some of you have lost all the top people you've ever had. Why? You're cheapskates. You didn't want to pay him, number one. Ross Driscoll, I want to pay him $1,300 a month because that works into my budget, and then I have more of a social life. Now, I talked to him about it, and he said, no, it's a little low. So I pay him considerably more than that. And the other day, and of course after this meeting, he's going to want to hit me with a raise, and I'm not going to give it to him. Was Ross still in the room? But I'll think about it, because he's good. You have to pay the people, and right now what I want to do is step away from philosophy and tell you how to do it, where to find them, what to look for, and stop being a tweener. I invented a game called Obies and Tweeners, where if you throw a ball in between the circles, it's minus points. Tweeners are business people who always are in between having somebody marketing for them or taking care of their paperwork. Throughout their whole career, when you ask them, how are you doing? Do you have some staff? Well, no, I just had one, but then I'm looking for somebody now. 2 years later, you ask them the same question. Oh, I just had somebody. I'm talking to a guy right now. They never have anything going. And some of you have done that your whole careers. Some of you have also brought people in and lost them and say, enough of that, I'll do it myself. And Jack, I did a meeting for you, I don't know, 8, 9, 7 years ago, and I was talking the same talk. But I've never seen it more in evidence than in Los Angeles, California, where people who can recruit and keep the good people, pay them, recruit them, train them, motivate them, make $20,000 plus a month, and better, more intelligent, maybe more charismatic people. And I have those in my district, make 4. and has nothing to do with their sales ability, nothing to do with their intelligence. And they're sad people, and some of you are too. I talked to a young man last night, and a friend of Don Snipes, and he admitted to me that this is the time I have to do it, or when I look at myself in the mirror and shave, I might as well say to myself, you just don't have it, stop talking about it. Stop saying I'm sorry. Stop apologizing to yourself. We have fish down in the water under our boats. And you're out there on the high waves of the insurance industry in a little aluminum pontoon boat. And these big waves keep hitting you in the face and you're tasting salt water. And there's no fish in your boat. There's one little barracuda. And he bit you. And you're going, this isn't good. They're lying. You need to build a bigger philosophical boat for your business. You need a Coast Guard cutter type boat. You need ship, not boat, captain, and a crew, just like that dice game. Ship, captain, crew. And what do? Well, some of you say, well, now I got a big boat. But goddamn farmers, look what they're doing. Mary, come and look. Can you believe it? Dodos. No wonder I'm not making any money. If you're mad in this business, you also get broke. Broke and mad go together. I can tell you, walk in there and see my district, look at the guys with the frown. They're broke. And when I'm broke, I'm mad too. But they got mad before they got broke. And now they're broke and mad, and it goes together. In fact, we're nicer to those people. They all come from lovely families. Nice families. I always have a drink for them. As soon as they walk in the house at a party, how you doing? It's like some pizza over here. Takes them 7, 8 drinks, and finally they say, oh, I'm sorry. And you hear, I'm sorry, I screwed up. Well, I look at what they're doing to me. And Donnie Snipes just told me a few minutes ago, he says, you've always been kind of semi-retired as far as all the crap that some other people have to do as a district manager. And I did the same thing as an agent. And like I told my dad once, heck, Dad, this isn't the car business where you got to go out there and greet everybody yourself and do all the crap and clean the tires off. I'm going to hire that done. And I guess there's something else about the mentality in our district. We don't give a damn. We're going to roll the dice. If we know the fish are there, we're going to shoot the whole works. Because those are the people in America that make all the money. It's not 20% make 80% of it. It's 10% make 90% of it. And I always like the lifestyle of the people who go for it and who have the one word that is lacking in some agencies and many of them, courage. I have some good friends in this room who have never bet their hand. They look at their hand and they go, okay, dealer has 2 cards up. And dealer has a 19. I have a 20. That's all the cards the dealer can take. I have a 20. Do I want to double my bet? No, that'll be $40 I put up. I'll just stay with 20. Now there is a problem. We don't know what the score is. And some of you know yourself and know I won't work hard enough. I'll hire somebody to come in for marketing and then I'll do nothing. And I'm not going to make it anyway. My wife knows, my dad knows, my kids know, my dog even knows that I'm a loser. And a loser is a loser is a loser, and they're self-proclaimed losers. This is a product of the mind, this whole thing. Just like Herbalife, those people sitting there making all that money, selling these overpriced little capsules with nothing in them. I hope none of you are taking too much of that. If you take it down to a drugstore and get you the same stuff for about 1/4 the price, but they're getting rich. And the government wants to put them out of business. And they're getting richer. So what do? Recruit. Let me help you. Where do you find a recruit? Well, the needle in the haystack, the same thing we're looking for as district managers, are everywhere because the haystacks are everywhere, and every haystack has about 7 or 10 needles in it, but it's a big haystack. So if you want to find the needle, you can go through the haystack by hand, and you probably will never find a needle. So I thought it's best to develop a huge magnet and put it on the top of the haystack and just suck the needles right out of it. What is the magnet that attracts those cream puff, those real super people who want to make a career and think that you're God and want to grow up to be like you and help you get rich so someday they have important part in your agency. Well, those people need you to close down Wheat Patch Poly and ordain your agency as the University of Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana. And there's no college that has more of a pick of the litter than the University of Notre Dame. When they came to talk to me in high school, and it was Notre Dame, I just walked around the backyard thinking, oh, what am I going to say? Do I look big enough? I was walking around. I was so nervous, because I knew they had the pick of the litter all over the United States. It was an honor to even have them discuss a scholarship with me. Yet we sit back and we go Wheat Patch Poly. First of all, when we talk to the guy, we want to give him minimum type wage, give him a small piece of the action, like 1% of our commission, all the ice water they can drink, and no way to evolve. Where do we find them? You find them everywhere. They're in high schools. There's 3, what's the local high school here?
San Jose.
San Jose High. There's a guy named Barry Prankratz over there right now. He's a senior. He needs money. His dad isn't rich. He has a girlfriend, a pretty redhead, and he has a car and it needs gas in it or he can't take her to the movies. And his dad says, I have no money, son. Work it out. He's making hamburgers over at McDonald's right now. I can hear him cooking. He's going, $3.62 an hour. I'm better than this. He needs you to call the placement office and talk to somebody and say, I'm looking for the very best people you have on campus for a, take a note, junior marketing program. Not phone solicitor.